Today I just want to talk about anxiety and its effect on everybody, and that's to do with alcohol, drinking too much alcohol, whether you're drinking every day or just binge drinking like I do, or I did. I quit alcohol back in 2017 it was, ended up stopping for about 5 years, and then just like many other people I thought I could moderate and have a few drinks here and there, just like some of my friends and family can do, well most of them can do, but ended up getting back into old bad habits like everyone else does. Before you know it, I was binge drinking again, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, the odd midweek night if people were visiting. And then I decided, after genuinely one of the most monumental anxiety hangovers I've ever had, to stop again. I'll maybe tell you a bit about that morning first. I've spoken briefly about it on another video as well, but I'd woken up on the Monday after a good session, out Friday, out Saturday and out Sunday, and it was one of those weekends as always that wasn't planned, but you know, we all know what's going to happen, do we? As soon as I finished work at 5 o'clock or whenever it was, and closed my laptop, had a good week as normal, because you know, I wasn't could never really drink through the week because I didn't really want to be honest, and I'd work the next day and there's no way I could function and go into the office a few times a week if I was feeling rough, and I would hate to go in stinking of booze. It was fine 20 years ago, but you know what it's like now, everything's kind of changed a bit. So it was one of those weekends, and it ended up, I think, being about a 1-2 in the morning session on the Friday. Just a Guinness got opened as usual, Friday tea time, and then that went on to the harder stuff. And then on Saturday I woke up needing a hair of the dog, of course. Not instantly, I was never like that, never really felt the need to, wake up in the morning and have a beer straight away. But you know what it's like, if by the time you get up, get changed, have a bit of breakfast, maybe do a few things around the house, you start getting a bit of itchy feet. Maybe the alcohol's starting to wear off a bit, and as usual, you have that drink, and it's like a magic cure for you. Had that drink, ended up again being a 1-2 in the morning session, and the same thing happened on the Sunday. A lot of football matches, all in the golf, had a friend visiting, so we ended up drinking pretty much from lunchtime till about 6-7 o'clock. I was off the Monday thankfully because my mate was visiting, so maybe that's why I kind of decided to go out on the Sunday as well, but I ended up going up on the Sunday and waking up on the Monday, and it was honestly just like Armageddon was coming. I remember it's all kind of started when I got a notification from Yodel, a delivery company over here in the UK, if you've never heard of it, and they said they were going to deliver a package between, this was maybe about 9 in the morning, and I think this was probably around, they said they were coming between 10 and 12, and for some reason that just totally freaked me out. The thought of having to get out of bed, walk 15 steps to the door and collect a package was just too much, I think. And then I laugh about it now, but believe you me, I wasn't laughing about it at the time. And yeah, that kind of triggered the whole thing. And then I remembered I had a tax letter, which I have loads of them anyway, and 99% of them are just reminders. Make sure this is submitted by this day, and if there's an accountant's letter, it's normally just trying to sell a service or a summary of something like a payment you've made or your monthly payment. It's never a big deal, but for some reason, since I hadn't opened this letter, I couldn't get it off my mind. So I ended up looking for the letter, and I couldn't find the letter, and then that kind of triggered the what if it's something important, what if you need to make a payment. Then before you know it, I'm logging on to my tax. We have the HMRC here for all your taxes, and I'm logging on trying to get onto my website, but I never go on it anyway, so I'm having to reset passwords. And then the doorbell went, and it was the Yodel guy. That freaked me out, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. And kind of, it's happened before, but this was a 10 out of 10 moment. And the next few days, I think I woke up the next day and you just feel like a clown, do you? These things that you were worrying about, an incident that happened 10, 20 years ago that's trivial, but then like what if it turned out different? What if this had happened? And you're just thinking about everything, and it's like 1,000 fireworks going off in your head. Well, for me anyway, just what about this, what about that? And some of them don't even have substance, these thoughts, but they're still kind of throwing at you. And so on that Monday, I think I paced the corridors half the day and ended up, even though I slept half the day, I ended up going to bed really early as well to try and get to sleep. And then because I'd overslept as always, I was shattered on the Tuesday when I got back to work, and then, yeah, you know what, like. So that was just that was that. But, I think for me, losing that anxiety is the biggest thing and the biggest reason why I quit. There's just nothing better in the morning than waking up with a clear mind. You don't have that anxiety, and loads of it goes. And I think it's kind of split. You need to kind of split up rather than putting it under the umbrella of anxiety. That kind of fear you have over, that something happened in the past, or what did I say, and what if did I end up paying my phone bill? I can't remember seeing it come off, or my car bill, or did it come off, and you're worrying about stupid stuff that you never worry about. That obviously goes, but there are other anxieties that probably might stay there because maybe you took out a few loans. Thankfully I never went down that route, or I've always had a good job, and maybe you've now realised I've got credit cards to pay, I've got this to pay and whatever, but they all slowly leave, and I think they leave the day you sit down and you put a plan together, because you've not got any brain fog anymore. You're thinking a year ahead, 5 years ahead. So maybe you've got a few credit cards that you've just not been paying, but since you have a clear mind, you phone them up. Listen, I'm struggling at the moment, might not have a job, or I've actually got savings, so I could pay some off. You make a deal with the bank, or you pay some of it off, they're happy, you've got a plan. Now you're thinking, maybe in fact in a year's time or 2 years' time I might have all this sorted. So every week that passes, every time that payment comes out your account, if it's that way, that's that. And like relationships will get better as well. Maybe you have the anxiety that you're maybe avoiding people because what if my parents come round and there's beer cans everywhere. All that goes, and it's just truly remarkable. So like I say, I think there's maybe two sides to the anxiety. One's the stupid stuff that you worry about, and the other side's that stuff that we all worry about, like mortgages and when can I retire, and my fitness is a bit of a shambles at the moment. I can't even walk to the shop without being out of breath, but that'll all go over time. And I'm pretty certain you'll 95% of the anxiety will go within a week, within a few days, and the anxiety that's left is not near on the scale. Before it would have been a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, scaredness or fear. We call it the fear, or the beer fear in Scotland, where you have that feeling. But even those kind of anxieties before, they'll be there because you'll think, oh shit, I need to pay off this, I need to pay off that. But they're not there. But like I said, just thought I'd put this video together just when I was out having a walk. And anxiety is I think the biggest one for a lot of people, and I just love not having it in my life anymore, and just having control of my thoughts and going to bed at night with a clear mind, waking up with a clear mind is a total game changer. If you like this video, please leave a comment, subscribe as well. Subscribing really helps. I'm releasing daily videos, daily posts, daily shorts, so hopefully you find something from this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.